Eduardo Zacharias Schmidt, my grandfather, one of the most amazing men that I've ever known. His ambition and determination to conquer his dreams was unreal. He always told me that he would do whatever it took to follow that dream and make it a reality. He always dreamed of being a doctor and eventually achieved this. He was born in San Pedro Sula, and he wanted to move to America. He and do further schooling. In 1936, he made it onto a boat and stepped off it and ended up in Los Angeles, California. He was then drafted to the Army. Um, what it took for him to get to America was unreal, and his ambition in order to get here, he was completely determined. In order to raise money in order to get to America, he sold books, tutored students in calculus. He worked with his dad being a blacksmith, or helping his dad with blacksmithing. His dad was a blacksmith. He farmed in the plantations, even despite his whole family telling him that he could never do this and that he was never going to amount to anything. That just made him want to try harder and harder. He said, I don't care what they're telling me, I can do this. They would all call him scrawny, and he was just like, didn't even like bother him. Once he finally made it over, he got drafted into World War II. He was a medic in World War II, and he was part of the Renaissance group. The Renaissance group is a group that spies on, basically they act as spies. They see what the Germans have set up, where they are at, and then they report back to, not the Germans, I'm sorry, the Americans, because he's on the German side. And they report back as to his findings, and then they try and, arrange their plans. He told me a story that he saw a guy leaning against a tree, and when he went over there to check on him, he noticed that the soldier was not alive, and he didn't have any single marks on him, not a battle scar or anything, and he said he was shot with a percussion grenade. Another story he told me was it was almost dusk, and he was helping a soldier, and some of the American soldiers spotted him, and they said, "Who's there?" And he called out, "Smith, Smith." And, his last name is not Smith. So some people may question, why would he say Smith? But Smith is American, and so if he wouldn't have done that, he probably would have gotten shot right then and there. And basically, he said that on at least one occasion, a bullet zipped right by his head, and if it wouldn't have been for God sparing him, he probably would have been dead. After getting out of the Army, he made it back to America and continued his studies as being, as trying to achieve becoming a doctor. And in 1952, he graduated with his MD, and so proud of him because, that was not common at all. So he made it to America. He went into World War II, and he eventually got his degree. So you know what? That just shows that it is possible to do things that seem completely unconquerable. So, guys, whatever you want to do, set your mind to it, conquer, and achieve those dreams, because you can do anything you put your mind to.